Hey everyone, my name is David Dunbar, or the theme park evangelist. So the last time I tried to vlog in here, the lighting was a little better. Obviously, the lighting is not that great. So this time I'm going to be smart and I'm actually going to remember to press the stop recording button, not the X in the top right hand corner. That really threw me off last time. I just worked another 51-hour work week. So I was contemplating vlogging with my phone and just like doing some today and some tomorrow. But instead, I decided to do something really special for you guys since I'm finally off for the first time in 2 days starting tomorrow until Tuesday when I go back in at 8 a.m. And also, as a special surprise, TJ's here for the next 3 weeks or so. I figured the two of us would show you guys what it's been kind of like around the local area as far as how has the coronavirus affected northern Kentucky, starting with my work Meijer, the Florence Meijer, that is, the Florence, Kentucky Meijer, because you guys know that's a major city that's in my area. So, anyhow, I figured when we were in there tomorrow grocery shopping, because I just got $100 gift card, we'll probably go in the early afternoon, right after the online church service is over at Hebron Baptist. And then from there, we'll drive over, go get some groceries, and I'll show you guys uh, kind of how the coronavirus has impacted just my grocery store alone. It's absolutely insane to me. And then we'll show you guys kind of what's been going on around the area since TJ is with me, that allows me to at least do some filming while we're out and about. As far as what's going to be going on over the next few weeks since TJ is here. So, we've been talking about getting some work done to the car. My car has been needing some work. We're going to get the clutch fixed. The government is supposed to send everybody that made less than like $75,000 or something like that is not married or whatever, $1,200, which is crazy. So if depending on whether you did direct deposit on your last paycheck or not is pretty much going to determine that or not. And since I always have been doing direct deposit, what I meant is on your taxes. I'm sorry, I didn't clarify that. And since I've always been doing direct deposit for my taxes for the past 5 years, maybe more, and I've always been doing my own taxes for about that amount of time. I know before that my parents did used to do it for me for a few years, specifically my dad, and then I started getting the hang of it. I'm like, oh, okay, I can figure this out. So, yeah, I've always had direct deposit set up. And I've always had the same bank account, so the government will direct deposit that money in my account so I can finally get that clutch fixed, which has been going in and out for over a year now, which is not good. Now, as much as I like to get the front of my car fixed, it's not as crucial as the clutch, obviously. And then, also, while TJ's here, I'm going to get the car washed, obviously. That's definitely a priority. I mean, no hurry or anything. Probably later on in the week when I have a little bit more money, especially when the temperature starts dropping, I figure that'd be appropriate. I know it's supposed to rain over the next few days, so I'm not really in any hurry to do it right now. Sorry, thumb is itchy. And also, another thing I would like to get done on my car is I would like to get a new steering wheel cover and maybe even new seat covers because my seats look like absolute trash. Unfortunately, I need like a professional detailer to come in and like clean everything. I did my absolute best last week, but even then I just can't get everything, and that was last Monday. And hopefully I can even get the car vacuumed again with TJ's help. Maybe we can go over everything again, just like, yay, it's all done. And that would be around the same time I'd like to get the tires washed. Because I was talking about, well, not talking, but thinking about going to the dollar store and maybe getting a bucket and a sponge and at least cleaning the tires off. At least get that much done. That would be nice. Because I can guarantee the two of us would be able to get the tires cleaner than a car wash would. Anyway, let's talk about the coronavirus. Enough talking about my personal life and what's going to go happen over the next few weeks. So, I know for a fact that ever since the panic buying has basically stopped and Meijer has modified their hours, we're still busy. We're not as busy as we were, and thankfully, Meijer has been very wise and they've hired so many people over the past few weeks. It has not affected my hours, which honestly, I wouldn't mind a little less hours of how much I've been working. I mean, even 8 less hours a week right now would not be that bad. Like we're saying, like I would rather be making 32, even just for a week or two, just so I could get a break. But I'm going back to 40. I'm assuming they're still improving overtime, so I'll probably still make over 40 a week. Plus, we're getting an extra $2 in for every hour we work. So this week I made about 51. So that's $100 added onto my paycheck. So last week I made about 400 or so, 424. So this week I'll make over 500 if that makes any sense on Thursday. And that's an insane amount of money. I'm just like, whew, cannot believe I'm making that much hours, you know? It's just like, wow. And as far as like, so how are we preventing people from buying so many groceries? So obviously, for a little bit, we figured, well, maybe we could just tell people at the checkouts or some. At first, we were thinking, well, maybe we could monitor like this supply of product or this supply of product only, and we weren't that concerned about it. But then we saw that was becoming a problem because then everybody was buying a bunch of other stuff as well. And also, they weren't enforcing it as hard. Then they said, well, maybe we need to start enforcing it. And then they also started putting signs literally everywhere, limit two per item. And they would put it over top of that product or over that door or whatever, or over that shelf. And it was like, wow, you know? So it's like, well, I guess sometimes you have to crack the whip. Now, we are, for whatever reason, staying open an hour and a half later than Walmart, which I don't understand, but, you know, every company is entitled to their own opinion. Walmart is closing at 8:30 every night right now. Meijer is actually getting better about getting products out on the shelf. I was quite impressed. I was walking down the water aisle on my way out, and for once there was actually water. Considering last Thursday, it was bare empty. So we are starting to improve. People are not buying as much. The toilet paper crisis, unfortunately, has not resolved itself because as soon as that toilet paper hits that shelf, it's flying out the doors. Like when I was pushing carts this morning, I could not believe how much toilet paper was going out the doors. It was just like one cart after another, one person after another, whichever way you want to look at it. And I'm just scratching my head, just like, wow, just why? I mean, I only bought some because I was under the impression that we didn't really have a lot. It turns out we still have some in the closet. I keep forgetting about that. And I don't want to be, you know, one of those poor people that doesn't have any toilet paper. When we do run out of toilet paper, we don't know how long this virus pandemic is going to last. I mean, April is literally around the corner, and everything is still not doing well. So I know that Walt Disney World was planning on reopening next week. Well, unfortunately, they're closed indefinitely at this point, and this is unheard of for Disney. This is very unheard of. And even Disney has decided, well, we're going to pay our employees a little longer. SeaWorld is hurting, so they're laying off a lot of employees. And I thought that SeaWorld could handle it, but they're definitely not doing well. This is probably the second worst thing that has happened to this world in this century alone. 9/11 being the worst, and I'm discouraged for a lot of people because basically only certain businesses are doing well, like grocery or U.S. government. Basically, if you work in an essential kind of business, you're that's the only kind of employee that's going to be doing well right now. Even fast food, technically, their hours have not really dropped. In fact, I would say they've increased because everybody is flocking to get food still, no matter what. Everybody's just forced to go right through the drive-through. No, you don't need anybody watching the counter, but honestly, if you think about it, a lot of people don't really watch the counter these days. Everybody's always focused on the drive-through. It's something I'm still trying to get used to. I'm still not completely used to the fact that you can't go inside to eat. You can't go inside to order food anymore. I mean, some places they allow it, but then you have to turn around and leave again. Chick-fil-A, the only way you can go inside their doors is if you go through their app and you order food ahead of time and then you go inside. And that's the only way you're going to get inside their doors. Otherwise, they're going to say you have to leave. This is the possibility of you bringing in the coronavirus into their business. And here's something else sad. So, not mentioning the details, there's a reason why a lot of businesses say if you've been sick in the past 24 hours, please do not enter. And the reason why they say that is because they don't want you to possibly spread your germs to other people, especially if you may or may not have the coronavirus. And honestly, these days, you just can't take that chance. So, when you go into a business and you're sick, you're basically telling people you don't care about the signs are that your personal needs are, far greater than the health and safety of everybody else. And you're also telling us that you don't read the signs, which is very sad. And unfortunately, I witnessed something just like this today, and I wasn't even expecting it. Thankfully, I didn't actually see what happened, but it still, makes me um, not understand humanity, I guess is the best way to put it. It's just like, why people? Why do you do that? If you need groceries, you know that Shipped has been working nonstop lately, about probably as much as we have alone. There is a reason why we have a lot of grocery services out there like Instacart and Shipped, and the reason why we've been seeing Shipped a lot more is number one, nobody wants to be out and about. That's all that comes down to it. Nobody wants to go out to the grocery store. So those who do want to go to the grocery store obviously don't have a problem with going out in public, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I mean, there is a reason why we do have Instacart or Shipped out there, and Shipped is Meijer's. So I'm like, all right, whatever floats your boat. And then the second biggest reason why I've been seeing Shipped a lot more in my store than usual is because a lot of people are laid off from jobs, so they're picking up odd jobs to bring in some kind of income. You can already imagine that DoorDash or Uber Eats or something like that is probably doing extremely well too. They're also all delivery services, and those you would see typically in like restaurants and then going to people's homes. So I know for a fact that a lot of these people, what they're doing now to make sure that they don't possibly bring any kind of contamination into your home now is they knock on your door or they do something through their app to let you know your food is here, your groceries are here. So then after that, they leave it right there at your door, and then they leave right after that. Which I don't know if I said right after that. Like one too many times, doesn't matter. The point is, you don't see them, you don't touch them, but you know that they did what they needed to do because your app tells you so, or you hear or your app tells you so, and you hear the door knock or the bell ring, the doorbell, that is. Another thing that has been making me very happy ever since this virus started. So I know there's a lot of disgusting people out there, unfortunately. You're never going to turn off the disgustingness completely, but I do have to applaud people, or humanity just in general, for the fact that I am seeing a lot more people trying to be more sanitary these days, and that makes me very happy. The fact that people are trying to wash their hands more, or use hand sanitizer, and spray chemicals on their cars, even when my team tells the customers, "Oh, you don't have to clean the shopping carts. We already took care of it." It's like, "Oh, it's okay. I'm going to do it anyway." It's like, I completely understand that, and I'm never going to stop people from doing so. So that's the reason why I'm like very proud of humanity. Some things that I think are maybe a little push, or like too much, is the fact that I'm seeing people wearing gloves like crazy, or masks. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I just think it's maybe taking a little too much, or taking a little too far, or a little over the top. But that doesn't mean you should stop. Just because my opinion is, a little out there, doesn't mean you have to take it. I'm just, putting my opinion out there. But you know what? I highly encourage all of you to wear gloves. I highly encourage all of you to wear masks if it makes you comfortable. If, it keeps you safe, go for it. I personally don't think I need to wear gloves all the time, but, that's just the way I feel. I know my mom doesn't agree with me, but, I am my own person. I am 26 years old. If I feel like I need to wear gloves, which obviously I would if I'm like cleaning up blood, or vomit, or urine, unfortunately, poop. Those are definitely things that I 100% agree, yes. I should be wearing gloves. Technically speaking, you should be wearing gloves when you do the trash too. You have no idea what goes in that trash can, and I'm gonna stop there with the disgustingness before anybody goes "Bleh," right all over your phone, or your laptop, or your computer, whatever you're watching me on, tablet even. Sounds like they're finally done watching whatever they're doing now. They're watching TV. Hey, at least nobody has come down here to bother me, so I was able to have some silence. I originally had filmed a 30-minute vlog, and you could see me a lot better than you are now because of the fact that it was brighter in here, and of course my laptop screen has a hard time focusing when it's not that dark, which is unusual considering the lights are actually their brightest right now. But yeah, this coronavirus has been crazy. As far as TJ goes, so why is he here? Why is he here? I'm trying to talk and I cannot do it. So Universal's in the same boat as Disney. Universal is closed as of right now till Easter weekend, but we don't know for sure. I just pray and hope that TJ didn't book his return flight home too soon. I pray and hope that he makes enough money that maybe his mother or his grandmother could help him pay for our car to go back home and forget about the airplane ticket altogether, because it was already a pain for him to get here. He had to wait forever at the airport because Kay supposedly insisted that he had to get to the airport early. And I don't know why she thought that, considering nobody's traveling these days. Nobody's out and about, even on the roads. I-4 has been the emptiest I've ever heard of it being. Ever. Like, I-4 is just one of those interstates that's like hit or miss, but not lately. Like, you could go to any of the busiest parts of the world. You could go to Paris, and it's dead. Because nobody's out and about. Everybody's hiding at home or doing their work from home. If you can do work from home, do it. Obviously, I can't work from home. I work in a grocery store, so I have no choice. So that's why I'm working. That's why I've got legal authorization or documentation from Meijer stating David Dunbar is legally authorized to work at Meijer and be able to commute back and forth between Meijer and his house. And obviously, if I do stop on the way home, it's very brief, it's very quick. I obviously don't want to make it too obvious that I'm like out having fun or anything, because as far as I'm concerned, if I'm not at work, I need to be home. And if I'm not at home, then whatever I need to do, I need to try to keep it within a few hours, if possible, and then go right back home again. But my butt should be at home as much as possible during this virus. And normally I feel that way anyway because I'm always at work. So I personally don't think that my life has changed that much other than the fact that I'm working a lot of hours, which is understandable, and just working a lot harder. But otherwise, the government has no effect on me at all. Like, other than the fact that they're providing me with a nice paycheck to, or just check period or whatever, to be able to get my car fixed, which is awesome. And I thank you, U.S. government, for doing that. That's definitely a blessing from God, for sure. I would say the number one thing I'm looking forward to the most when this virus is over and done with is being able to actually go back to church again in person, like we're supposed to be doing. I would say the second thing I'm looking forward to the most when this virus gets over is being able to work regular hours and not have people like buying stuff like crazy and people coming in wearing gloves and masks and afraid to touch anything. The third and final thing I'm going to mention, because I could mention all kinds of things, but we're not going to, would be the fact that I would like to actually be able to talk to my own mother about her freaking out about this virus. Like, I can't even talk to one of my own family members without them freaking out about the virus. It's kind of depressing in my opinion. But you have to comment below. Let me know what you thought about the vlog. Tell me what you didn't like about it. And also, I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow when TJ and I show you guys how the coronavirus has impacted Meijer. And considering tomorrow is my day off, it's a perfect day. And also how it has impacted my community. So until then, I will see you guys in the next vlog. And always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great night. Peace out.